Good morning, good morning, good morning, or afternoon or evening, whatever it is for you. For me, it's 7:11. I could have almost done this at 7 o'clock. Actually, I could have done it at 6:55, except I only had 2 minutes to get it ready. I had the blurb written early this morning and the title and everything. I could have done it at 4:44, but I wanted to wait till my daughter left with the kids for school. So anyway, I'm doing it now. And the title is Your Honor, My Ass. I want the event now. We're supposed to call the charlatans that sit on the bench in so-called courtrooms, Your Honor. Courtrooms, in fact, are the command center, that should be plural, centers of the criminal syndicate involved in human slave trade and other crimes against humanity. There's nothing honorable about them or the system they facilitate. They are actors playing a very dark role, despite their persona. Hoping that the event people are talking about includes bringing real justice to this ilk of subhumans, stopping them from doing further damage. I want it to happen now, this year. It's time to bring down the house of cards built by the deceptive sociopaths who want to rule the world and control all the world's assets and people. Here's a link to a Cobra article published on 9 December 2013 entitled Financial Reset and Event Update. And then I have the link. Yes, you can vote on whether you want the event ASAP or postponed till a later time. And I will say I'm looking at that page right now. 13% want to postpone it till a later time, which means I guess 87% want it as quickly as it can happen. We need to turn the system around. I'm going to another web page now that I had put up on a different browser. Here's the state of law today that we live in. There's no rule of law. There's no justice. There's no respect of due process. Open government corruption with merchants and moneylenders is the status quo. Since 1801, there's no rule of law, as merchants, moneylenders, and politicians claimed immunity from attack and destroyed laws against fraud. There's been no justice since the 1840s, as claimed officers of law started to make money directly from cases, stopped making proper oaths, and the courts became private businesses. Since the 1980s, there's been no due process, as failure to file proper affidavits, signed complaints, signed warrants, end of presumption of innocence, arrest with it should be arrest without charge, imprisonment without charge, end of habeas corpus. Our system has, for the past 150 plus years, deteriorated to the point that now, as I said, the rule of law is meaningless. There is no justice. There's no respect by the courts. And government is a laughing joke. It's a crime syndicate, as I've said. And the courts are an extortion racket. They are the very heart, the command centers of the global human slavery enterprise run by the governments and the international bankers and the multinational corporations. This is the state of our world. And they're teaching us that we're supposed to act in honor when we go into one of these dens of iniquity. I'm sorry. They do not deserve my honor, any honor, or my respect. As human beings, maybe. But the role that they're playing is a crime role. It is a dark role. It is evil. It is malevolent. It is not just. It's a total facade that they put on as court of justice. Give me a break. Give me a break. There is no justice in our court system. There is no justice in our government institutions. There is no justice when corporate law overruns the natural rights of human beings. There is no justice. There is no rule of law. There is no due process where truth can be established and where there has to be a sequence of events in order for it to be lawful. The legal system is not lawful. Get it through your heads for those of you that don't know yet. It is not lawful. They cannot pass laws and legislate laws that violate natural human rights. Those are granted by our Creator. They belong to us. And when they operate against those rights, they are operating as criminals. And it doesn't matter if they wear white robes or powdered wigs. I don't think they wear powdered wigs anymore in the world, but many of them still wear these black robes and indicate that I'm a judge. No, you're not a judge. You're an executioner. You're an extortioner. You're a criminal. You're not a judge. That you may hold the title and pretend to have the rank, but you're operating outside the law. You're a lawless one, claiming to be upholding the law. And police are given orders by courts to arrest people, to detain people, to steal from people, steal their cars, steal their homes, steal their property without proper warrant, conducting searches that are against the law and seizures that are against the law. This goes on every day of our freaking lives. This thing is going on, and it's been increasing. You've heard Aristo say what they're doing in Greece. This is not just happening in the United States, which is supposed to be the home of the brave and the land of the free. It's happening all over the world. And in some of the third world countries, like Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria and other places where they have fomented revolutions and they're trying to take over these Muslim countries that are standing up for rights. Yeah, they want their religion honored. Of course they do. But they're standing up for rights against this conglomerate of international bankers and the Rothschild banking empire. That has to be brought down. The Catholic Church has to be brought down. The governments have to be brought down. The multinational corporations have to be brought down. Their system has to come to an end. And the sooner the better. I voted yes when I voted for on Cobra's page. Now, I don't follow Cobra a lot. He's one of the freedom fighters, and the page, it's 2012portal.blogspot.com. And there's, I guess, an article every day. I haven't looked at this for a while. Well, no, there's not one every day. There was one on December 7th. There was one on December 5th. Okay, so there's periodic updates on this. But he's suggesting that there's going to be a financial reset. That's a fact. That's a fact. Whether you follow the Illuminati's plan, they're working toward a financial reset, or the BRICS nations, or some other thing. There's a financial reset that's going on. It's been in progress for at least the last couple of years or so. Really, since 2008, since that collapse, there's a global reset going on, and yet there's still people trying to hold on to the status quo in the old system and maintain the derivatives and the counterfeiting that's done by our governments and done by the banks, where they can create money out of thin air, stealing their wealth from the people that they pretend they're loaning to, and governments that they're pretending to loan to. Loans are unlawful unless it's a private individual and saying, well, I'm going to loan you $200 to to help you right now because I can't really afford to give it outright, but I'm going to loan it to you. Now, most of the time when I give outright. I have made a couple of small loans to my daughter to buy food and stuff since they've been living here till their paycheck cycles start kicking in again and they start being able to afford things on their own. So I have made a couple of small loans. Those are legitimate loans because I'm actually giving something that's in existence, even if it's debt instruments and pieces of paper. Okay? It's pieces of paper that have meaning in our culture. And so they are considered money even though lawfully they are not money. Lawfully, gold and silver are money. And gold and silver or gold and silver certificates can be considered real money. But fiat currency cannot be considered real money, although it's a medium of exchange. And if you study the modern money masters and money mechanics and stuff like that, a fiat system that's run honorably and honestly without borrowing, just creating what is necessary for the culture and the society to function, there's actually nothing even wrong with fiat currency if that's what's agreed upon and works for the people. The problem with our system is that it works against the people. It robs the people. It steals the assets and the wealth and the value from the people. And it doesn't tell the people that this is what's happening. But of course, with the internet, many of you know this is what's been going on. This is how our world's been run. And every day, people are being detained and incarcerated and having sometimes being tased and bullied by people that are acting as law officers. Give me a break. They're criminals in uniform with badges and licensed to carry weapons and to use violence against people that aren't doing anything wrong. They might be protesting or standing up for their rights. They might be smoking a joint or doing some service that has been made illegal, but it's not unlawful. Do you understand that our system is totally corrupt? And how much longer do we need to allow it to go on? Now, the thing is, the first option, event as soon as possible, although this poses a remote but potentially grave risk to life safety of yourself and your loved ones. Second option, wait for the safest moment for the event, even if much longer wait. Which do you choose? As I said, I chose now. We've got to stop this criminal system. We've got to put an end to this corruption, to the lying, to the deceptiveness of our mainstream media that is bought and paid for, and they are nothing but prostitutes doing the bidding and speaking the words that they're given to speak by the CIA and by other intelligence agencies that are operated from inside the cabal. These things have to come to an end. And I, for one, you say, Ron, why are you so upset about this? Why aren't you at peace with the way things are going and just let them proceed as they are, Ron? Well, because yesterday somebody came to my house wanting to know who lives here, wanting to know if it was for sale, wanting to know questions and working apparently for an investment firm or something like that, Provest or something like that. In any case, they may be threatening again to take my home away from me. Do you think that would not upset me? When there's never been a mortgage on this, when I secured my home with a UCC filing that's filed with the State Department of Florida and filed with the local courts, do you think that that bringing forth my what do you call it, the land patent that I brought forth in the early part of last year, prior to, quote, my arrest, and then I put my home in a business trust, a non-statutory commercial, a common law business trust, so that I don't even own the home anymore. It's all secured, and there's affidavits that I have presented to the court where the case was closed and where they were not going to take my home, and they're still making motions to do this. There's still indications that they're trying to steal what is not theirs, what they have no lawful right to. There's never even been a contract with the people that are claiming ownership. There's never been a court hearing. There's never been a trial. There's never been anything that gives them the right to do what they're doing, but they're doing it. Now you say, Ron, I understand that you have this situation, but don't you think that that's your karma? Don't you think that that's what you're supposed to be dealing with? I'm tired of dealing with it. I don't give a damn what my fucking karma is. Do you understand? I have lived a righteous life to the best of my ability, and I've based it on common law or the law that says love thy neighbor as thyself from a long time ago. When I was a teenager, the emphasis even in my religion was about love. My religion was love. Way back when I was a fundamentalist Christian, it was still about love. It still was not about judgment. When they tried to segregate the church and keep black people from coming to the white church in Paterson, New Jersey, I was against it. I spoke up on behalf of the black people. I've told the story how I created a Sunday school class. I couldn't even have it inside the church. I had to have it outside in the portico behind the building, outside. And I'd gather up the kids and I would teach a Sunday school class because that's what I believed in. And all my life, I've wanted to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth. I'm tired of fighting the battles. And the reason I believe these things keep coming is because the universe is reminding me, Ron, it's not about you. You're just one person of a bigger picture. This is happening to people all over the world. And that's why I say, whatever this event is, I want it to be about rendering justice and letting the boomerang come back on those that have tried to entrap and imprison humanity. Let them pay the consequences of their actions. That is justice. And if they cry out for mercy, I believe in mercy. I believe in forgiveness. But they have to stop the criminal behavior. That has to come to an end. That we have to draw a line in the sand and say no more. And the people need to rise up, and we need to raise our voice and say stop it to the government. Stop it to the courts. Stop it to the multinational corporations. Stop it to the bank. Corporations are created to serve man, not to control mankind. Do you hear me? Everything has been turned ass backwards. It's all inside out and upside down. Nothing is true on this planet. It's a total falsehood, a fabrication of reality. It's an illusion of separation. We need to stop it. We need to come together as one, and we need to start enforcing the rule of law. There are good laws that are in existence, and we need to go back to that common law and stop this admiralty maritime BS that has corrupted the whole system. Stop the corporate structuring of our institutions and create something that honors common law and the natural law of human beings to exist with their natural rights to be and to do, as long as they don't harm or hurt or cause loss or violate someone else's free will, that we can do what we want, because that's what we've been given. That's our birthright. It's given by God. Nobody is allowed to take it away from us, and when they do, it's a criminal enterprise. And that's why I do not choose to say Your Honor to some judge that's masquerading as a bulwark of justice. That's total bullshit. Thank you for listening. Namaste.